Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com or genesisofelgonquin.com. Tom the Plumber. Service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber. Honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. And Daryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Daryl Barnes Photography at darylbarnes.com.
And welcome to the Hinkle Holiday Classic. We're coming to you a little late here as the Barrington Broncos face off against the Grayslake Central Rams. Already a 4-0 game for Barrington. As Grayslake Central were trying to, that was Whalen putting that one back. And the Broncos coming back the other way. Number 32 with it, Grudzinski. Over to Daniel Hong. Back to Grudzinski behind the arc.
That's a guy you're going to want to keep your eyes on the Washington University St. Louis commit. He's a really good player. You want to keep an eye on him. He already had one dunk in the game, so.
Daniel Hong with it, Barrington looking to get something going. Grudzinski puts that one up, and that one will fall through. That is 6 points already for Grudzinski today. Pretty much he's accounts for all of Barrington's points so far.
He scored 24 points against Prairie Ridge in the first game of the tournament, so he can beat you on defense, and he can beat you in the paint. He's a hard guy to stop, I can tell you that.
And we will get a stoppage here as the Rams will regroup. That's number 24, Dennis Estep with it now.
Estep's a guy for the Rams you're going to want to watch. He scored 14 points against South Elgin in their loss. 3 twos and 2 threes, perfect from the line. He's a good offensive piece for that puzzle for the Rams.
As they go out of bounds, and the Broncos will try to set something up on offense here. That's Daniel Hong with it. Behind the arc, looking for a partner, and he'll find, that was number 15, Evan No Baptiste. Over to Hong behind the arc, and we will get another stoppage.
Yeah, we saw a lot of turnovers in our last game with Streamwood and Loyola, and that really killed Streamwood's drive. You can't be turnovers are going to happen no matter what. You can't keep doing, especially when you're playing, Grayslake Central, who's not a bad team. They're 6-4 in the season, 0-1 in the tourney, but they're definitely a team you don't want to give the ball often.
And that will be Whalen on the three-point attempt that goes through for the Rams, and Barrington will come back the other way. Daniel Hong with it.
Whalen scored 3 threes in the last game.
And that one's tipped, and Bourdonnais will find it. And now Grudzinski driving in, and that one goes through. Grudzinski with more points. He's the big player to watch for Barrington. Had 24 points, leads the tournament after their win over Prairie Ridge. As the Rams try to respond. It's number 32, Jake Gibson with it. And now Daryl Overstreet looking for a partner. Jake Gibson. Driving in, and that one's blocked. That was number 24, Nate Bolt, in on the block for the Broncos.
Yeah, Nate Bolt, at 6'10" senior. I like to see you stand up next to him. That'd be kind of good to see. 10 points in their win over Prairie Ridge yesterday, or excuse me, a couple days ago, when I believe 18th. My days are all screwed up.
And that will be Gibson on the free throw line, his first one to go.
Grayslake Central only shot 4 free throws in the first game. They were 3 of 4.
Well, add one and take one away. They've go 1 for 2 on the free throw from the line here. It's number 15, Evan No Baptiste with it for Barrington, driving in, and that one won't make it to the rim. Get another stoppage here. I believe Grayslake Central. No, I'm sorry, Barrington will head to the line. Evan No Baptiste. That'd be Whalen's first foul of the game.
It's for Barrington. They're 4 of 6 from the line.
And No Baptiste puts that one through, his first points on the day. And he will try a second one here.
We've preached it for over the years. Free throws and offensive rebounds are the key to winning high school basketball games.
They're a big momentum turn as Evan Nobaptiste makes that second free throw, 10-6. Barrington as Grayslake Central try to regroup, and Nobaptiste steals it. And that was Nate Bolt on the putback, couldn't get it down. Hong from 3. Bolt tries to put it back and no dice. The Rams will go back the other way. That is Whalen with it. And Gibson tries to put it up for 2. And Barrington will get the rebound. Hong coming back the other way. Passes a little bit too far out of the wheelhouse of Will Grudzinski. 4:37 left in the first, 10-6. Barrington over Grayslake Central at the moment. Grayslake Central try to shorten that lead. And that is Estep coming down in the putback underneath by Gerbasi. That one will go through, and it is now 10-8.
Given the height of the Rams, you're probably going to see a lot of inside work.
Grudzinski's shot from 3 doesn't land. As Hong with the pass back to Grudzinski on the putback, and can't find that one.
Yeah, the key to stopping this Barrington team is you really got to stop Grudzinski. He's the heart and soul of this team. He's one of the top scorers in the tournament. So stopping him will give you in a really good position to win.
Gerbasi driving in as he goes down, and I believe he'll be setting up for a inbound play here.
Already 4 fouls, and we're halfway through the first quarter. So definitely it's going to be a physical inside game of basketball. So expect a lot of fouls.
And that one out deep does not land, hits the back of the rim. As 24 Estep with it.
Estep's a good guy you want to watch. 14 points in the loss to South Elgin. Perfect from behind the, perfect from the line. So definitely a guy you want to keep your eyes on.
Grayslake Central playing catch behind the arc here. As Whalen puts it up for 3, and that one's good. And that will give the Rams the 11-10 lead. Hong taking it back for Barrington.
It's just a beautiful shot by Whalen.
Hong over to Nobaptiste, to Bourdonnais, to
capitalizing on
Grudzinski, and Bolt tries to put that one up from underneath and can't quite get it done.
Yeah, expect a lot of passes down the Bolt down low. His height, 6'10". Float the ball up for a couple alley-oops here and there, and you got a good down low presence.
It gives them a lot of opportunities to try and get something going underneath instead of trying to set up the 3, which we saw in the last game we did. Streamwood and Loyola, both teams trying to set up the 3 early. So a different kind of game here for Barrington, a different way to kind of generate some offense. .3:14 left in the first. Grayslake Central currently leads Barrington by a score of 11-10.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of, as these two teams feel each other out. Is there going to be a big focus on the 3 ball? You saw Whalen, he's got 2 threes already. There's been also a couple players in Barrington taking a couple behind the arc shots. Are they going to try to establish that 3-point game, or are they going to try to drive in? Barrington has the advantage. You have Bolt, he's 6'10". You have Grudzinski, 6'6" senior. They're both 2 big guys who can loft the ball into their hands. They can dunk, they can put back shots. Those are 2 guys you want to keep your eyes out down low. Now, Bolt was able to make a couple, he's shot some threes. With Grudzinski, he's got 4 threes in the tourney so far. So you might see a little bit Grudzinski behind the arc, maybe switching out with Bolt here and there, going down low. Especially Bolt, he's the one to watch down low. As I've said before, he's 6'10". There is nobody on this Grayslake Central roster other than Chris Isaacson, who's 6'9", 230, that could potentially battle it out with him.
Grudzinski, we saw, had the dunk early on. He currently has 8 points for Barrington. And now Bolt will go to the free throw line. And his first one will go through, makes it a tie game, 11-11. This one for the lead. And that one also lands. Barrington perfect from the free throw line today. That's going to be a huge source of offense for them. Estep taking it back for the Rams.
It's important to take advantage of any free shot you can have with the ball. Capitalize on your free throws and you'll find yourself in a much closer game.
Monahan with it, and he'll find Grabasi behind the arc to Whalen. To Overstreet. Overstreet finds Monahan. Estep. Grayslake Central trying to get something behind the arc. And Estep's three lands. Hong crossing middle of the court for Barrington.
3 threes for Grayslake Central so far. Keep an eye out on that.
And Bolt looking to get something going behind the arc, trying to find a partner. And he will find one in Tyler Groom as Bolt drives in. And that one doesn't land, although it appears Bolt will go to the free throw line once again.
The thing about height, and when you drive in, when you're a guy that big, and a defensive player tries to go for the block, you're going to draw a lot of contact, and that'll send you to the line. It'll give you more chances to make those free throws if you miss that one, but it'll give you a lot more chances to get those free points. You want to draw that contact. He's big. He's going to get the contact regardless, so whether or not he can capitalize it on the free throw line, if he can't, could make a huge difference for this Barrington squad.
As Bolt's second free throw goes through, one miss on the day for Nate Bolt, 3 for 4 from the line, as Estep takes it back for the Rams. And Barrington trying to get off, or Grayslake Central trying to get offense behind the arc. Whalen to Taylor, to Estep, back to Taylor. It's Kai Taylor in the game for Grayslake Central. And he's looking for a partner. I'll find one, Whalen, over to Estep.
Got some good man coverage here by Barrington.
Whalen
they can't find, Rams can't get anyone open.
Taylor looking to try and drive inside. He's going to stay behind the arc. He'll Whalen to Estep. Estep looking to find a way to drive in. He will. That will not go. And Barrington with a big-time turnover. Evan Baptiste coming back the other way. Baptiste looks to drive in, decides against it, gets the pass off to Bolt. Bolt driving in, goes up, and that one will land. 2 more points for Nate Bolt.
Yeah, just feed him down low. He can work anyone down there, because the height differences really aren't, there's really not a big guy that can battle him out.
1 minute left, Grabasi from the arc.
Gibson can, but it's going to be hard.
Estep up for 3, and that one does not land. Hong on the rebound, he'll take it back for Barrington to No Baptiste. Underneath to Bolt, he'll go up and in. It's 2 more for Nate Bolt, he's getting hot.
And you kind of look at this Rams defense. You have 2 things. You can try to double team Bolt, but then you leave Grudzinski open. You can't really take a guy off of Grudzinski or anyone else to try to stop Bolt, because then another guy gets open. This team can shoot behind the arc and they can shoot in. If you start double teaming Bolt, easily Grudzinski will get open.
As Grabasi with the putback for 2, and it looks like
charge.
That will be a charge. This Barrington team can beat you in so many ways with Grudzinski and Bolt, and it's been a nightmare so far for Grayslake Central to defend. Already 17-14, 24 seconds left in the first.
Double team can work, but you're going to need someone to bounce back fast enough to stop Grudzinski if he gets the ball.
No Baptiste's taking his time. Hong from behind the arc. He'll find Grudzinski. Grudzinski goes up for 3, and that one doesn't quite land. And that will end the first quarter of play here. Barrington Broncos, currently lead the Grayslake Central Rams 17-14. We've got a lot of basketball to be played. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break. And welcome back. We were about to start the second quarter here. This quarter sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. Patrick, a close game here in the first quarter. What have you seen from both sides?
I've seen the Nate Bolt show over at Barrington. Working down low, it's hard to stop him. You have Brzezinski, who's got some good assists going. As for Grayslake, you got to figure out a way to stop. They've shown they can score, but it comes, can you contain Bolt and try to stop him? We'll see if they can do that in the second quarter.
As you say, Bolt behind the arc to Grzyzinski. Grzyzinski will find, that was Groom on the pass. Groom back behind the arc to Bolt. Bolt to Grzyzinski from 3. And that one doesn't quite land. Estep with the rebound for Grayslake Central, and he'll come back the other way. Looking for a lane, can't quite find one. And he will get it to Whalen. I'm sorry, Monahan. He'll get it to Monahan. Monahan to Whalen. And that is Gibson with it. He will find Whalen. Grayslake Central working behind the arc, trying to drive in. Estep from behind, from 3-point range. And Monahan takes it. Looking for a partner, he'll find Whalen. Whalen to Estep. A lot of passing here, not a lot of shooting for Grayslake Central. Monahan looking, he'll find Whalen. And Whalen will drive in with the shot from 2, and that one goes through.
A lot of patience by the Rams. They had trying to find someone to get open. They had to wait for a guy in Barrington to try to intercept the pass, and they capitalized.
Hong driving in for the Broncos, a hard pass over to Groom. Groom to Bolt. Bolt will find Hong behind the arc. Hong up for 3, and that one goes nowhere. Taylor taking it back for the Rams to Monahan, to Whalen. Whalen to Estep. Estep looking behind the arc. Taylor. Monahan, that pass almost taken by Barrington. Whalen mishandles. He'll take it back. Estep. Estep with a pass inside to Taylor. Taylor can't quite drive in. This time he will drive in. He goes up. And no dice on that one. Barrington taking it back the other way. Bourdonnais. Bourdonnais finds Groom. Groom to Hong and Hong to Bolt. And Bourdonnais comes in for 2. Unblocked. Bourdonnais on that 2-point play.
Yeah, some good ball movement down by Barrington. And they played before. It looked like Taylor got hit in the face. He was holding his face, and maybe he was on the assignment with, Bourdonnais to come in. And because he was worrying about whatever happened to his face, he didn't see him come in. And really simple play call there, and a good pass gives Barrington now a 3-point lead.
That ball went out of bounds, and that will be the Rams' ball after Taylor was pickpocketed by Bourdonnais. And now Estep looking for a lane. And he'll find the newcomer in the game, Sam Cooper. And underneath to Cooper. Cooper up for 2, and that one's off the rim. And Bolt will grab the rebound. Hong coming back the other way for Barrington. That's to Groom, to No Baptiste. No Baptiste will try to drive in himself. He'll pass it to Hong behind the arc. Hong now trying to drive in up for 2, and that one's off the rim. Rebound by Gibson, and Estep with it.
You want to make sure you're not rushing into any shots here for the Rams. Down 3, it's an easy lead to come back.
As Estep puts it up for 2, and that one goes through. 1-point game here. Hong taking it back the other way for Barrington as they try to respond. Bolt from behind the arc, he'll drive in and finds No Baptiste. No Baptiste puts it up, and that one will not go through as we get a whistle. Looks like No Baptiste will be heading to the free throw line. No Baptiste perfect from behind the arc tonight, 2 for 2, and he will get 2 more tries here. As that one goes through, makes it 20-18 with 4:36 left in the second. No Baptiste with a chance to make it a 3-point game. Barrington will make some substitutions.
As Grzyzinski comes back in for the Broncos.
And that is Donovan Nichols also in the game for the Broncos.
Jack Gerbasi comes back in for the Rams.
No Baptiste's second free throw, and that one does not land. As Estep will take it back for the Rams, 2-point game. Estep will try to drive in, finds Cooper behind the arc. Cooper and Gerbasi play catch. And Estep with it. And he will drive in, puts that one up, and that one lands off the rim. As we will now have a tie game, both teams knotted up at 20, as Nichols takes it the other way for Barrington.
It's a nice little floater by Estep there, breaking the defense of Barrington that's been nearly unstoppable.
Barrington with a couple attempts to drive in, Hong with it. He'll find No Baptiste on the other side, and we will get a whistle as No Baptiste drives inside, no dice. And it looks like a timeout has been called.
Not a lot of separation between either of these teams. Barrington, it's an 8-bolt show. I'm going to keep saying it all evening, in this, throughout the rest of this game at least. It's really going to be him. Grayslake kind of finding a way to contain him. They're doing a pretty good job of that right now. But whether or not they can keep up with it will be something we'll have to see as the game progresses.
You've talked a lot about Nate Bolt on the Barrington side. Who's the guy to watch on the Rams side? Who are you seeing?
Brendan Whalen is another one, and Dennis Sepston. I have both of these guys written down on my players to watch. Both, Whalen, the senior, he's scored 10 points in the game so far. As for Estep, he scored 7. These are two guys that are really picking up the pace for this Rams offense. And Whalen, he has the 3-ball. He shot 2 threes in the first quarter. Both of them went in. As for Estep, he's only made a single 3 and worked more inside. He had a nice little floater that we saw in this quarter so far. But whether or not they can continue passing the ball to both will be something we'll have to wait and see.
Whalen with 16 points and Estep with 14 points in Grayslake Central's loss to South Elgin yesterday. Two players to keep an eye on. You heard it first from our expert in the booth here. And Monahan will take it back for the Rams. Monahan driving in. And Gerbasi for 3, and that one's an air ball. As that will go out of bounds.
I'm not a big fan of that shot. You had the ability to maybe pass a little bit more, try to beat that man-to-man defense. The wild 3, it doesn't work in this situation. It's not necessary. You can maybe work the ball inside, draw a foul or something, but you can't be taking unnecessary shots right now.
As Barrington will drive in Groom, he'll lose the ball. And Nichols now, No Baptiste with it. He'll get the pass out, and for 3, that one's good. Nick Bourdonnais for 3 on that one. As Estep takes it back.
And there's over and back. That's an inexcusable turnover. That should not happen. Especially in a game as close as this, you cannot have costly turnovers, such as an over and back or a travel or a double dribble even. You can't. It's one thing to turn over in a pass. It's another thing to have a mental, turnover like that.
Barrington with a chance to extend their lead here. Daniel Hong drives in, puts it up, and that one goes through. And it's now a 4-point game here. And Cooper with it to Gerbasi. Gerbasi to Monahan. Grayslake Central working behind the arc once again. Monahan will find Gerbasi. Gerbasi to Estep. Estep trying to find a lane. And he'll get the pass to Gerbasi. Gerbasi drives in. Finds Monahan from deep 2, and that one will land.
See, that's what the Rams need to do. Pass the ball around, try to find some kind of open shot and work it.
As No Baptiste drives in, but that shot is blocked by Gerbasi. Hong up for a deep 2, and that one lands as Barrington responds, and it is 26-22 with 2 minutes left in the second.
And I keep saying about the Rams trying to break this kind of defense somehow. And they're encountering a lot of issues with it. You saw Monahan made that shot in the last possession. That was a good work.
As that ball will go out of bounds. Grabasi was the last to touch it, so Barrington will inbound.
It's not at the point where you have to force passes. A pass like that, you're trying to work inside, and there was two guys, one behind and one in front. He was going to get double teamed as soon as he caught the ball. You can't essentially force passes into windows like this where you know they're going to get double teamed. Maybe if you were fast enough, you would catch it and pass it off to someone else. It was an unnecessary pass.
Grudzinski driving in, goes up, and can't find that one, but Bolt will put it back. As the Nate Bolt show continues, as my friend put it. 28-22, Barrington leads.
You need Gibson to try to outbox Bolt there. I know it's hard. I know he's bigger than you, but you put enough force in it to outbox him, you'll be able to get a rebound for your team instead of letting him put it back in.
Estep can't find a lane. He'll get it to Monahan. Grabasi looking as Estep's with it. Also looking for a lane, but can't find one. And he'll take the shot from 3, and that one doesn't land. Bolt's on the rebound for Barrington. He'll take it back the other way. Hong with it now.
That's a desperation shot right there. Unnecessary.
Clock ticks under a minute. And Nate Bolt from 3. He will drive in. Puts that one up, and it gets blocked. And Estep will take it back the other way. And Whalen with it for 3. Can't quite get that one finished, as Bolt will take the rebound. And Grudzinski coming back the other way.
There seemed to be no one crashing the board now. When there was one Ram down there, you need to have more than one. Because one, you gotta have waste one guy to block Bolt out, but you also need another couple of your players to start getting physical down there. Work in, wiggle your way in there, like Dennis Rodman used to in the Bulls. Find the ball and catch it for your team and put that offensive rebound to work. Because that's how you're gonna come back in this game. It's only 6 points, but that's a lot of ground to make up given
Barrington taking their time as the clock will tick off. No Baptiste with it. And Bolt will drive in. And can't quite put that one up, as we will have 1 second left. A stoppage was called.
One too many steps there from the Broncos.
And the Rams will have a chance here for a desperation heave before the half ends. And Taylor puts it up, and that's nowhere close. Grayslake Central tried the desperation heave, but Taylor didn't put enough under it. And we will go to half, the Broncos leading the Rams 28-22. And we will be back after a short break.
Hi, welcome to the Bear Family McDonald's. Thank you.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
And welcome back to the Hinkle Holiday Classic. I'm Logan Franz. Alongside me is my friend and partner Patrick Harrian. And we have a close one here as the Barrington Broncos lead the Grayslake Central Rams 28-22 at the half. Patrick, what have you seen from both teams really in this game?
I've seen a lot from Nate Bolt. He's a guy that's just really taking control of this Barrington squad. He's played great, but also don't forget about Will Grudzinski. He didn't score any points in the second quarter, but he can get out there. He can pass the ball around fairly well. He can shoot threes, but really it's the Nate Bolt show. You're going to want to put a guy on him, maybe put two guys in there if you want to deal with that defensive struggle, because once you put two guys on Bolt, Grudzinski could get open. You don't want to hand the ball off to him. But for Grayslake Central, give the ball to Brandon Whalen. He's got 2 threes in the first quarter. He hit it 2 in the second quarter. He's got 10 points so far. And Dennis Estep. He's got 7 in the game, so those are 2 guys who want to continue dishing the ball out to.
And the second half slated to start here in a moment. Don't forget, this game brought to you by our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's. Proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. And Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. As we will start here momentarily, quick score update. Will Grudzinski of the Broncos with 8 points, Hong with 4 points, Bourdonnais with 5, No Baptiste with 3, and Bolt, as Patrick mentioned earlier, having a great game with 9 points in the first half. And Grayslake Central will inbound to start the second half. Estep with it from behind the center line will pass the Golden Eagle. And he will find Overstreet. Overstreet to Whalen. Whalen puts it up and can't quite land. As Estep with it. He will find Monahan. Monahan looking to create something behind the arc. He'll find Overstreet. Overstreet backing up a little bit. And that is Gibson with it, looking for a place to go as he'll drive in. And put that one up. Bolts with a big block for Barrington there, as Grudzinski will take it back the other way.
Yeah,
and
good luck driving in on Bolt. He's going to get his hands up in there, and that's
Bolt
hard
drives
shot
in
to make.
underneath. Bourdonnais will drive in, find Bolt. Bolt looking for a place to go, find No Baptiste underneath. As No Baptiste will pass, but we will get a stoppage.
Travel there.
And
Not Christmas yet. Can't travel yet.
no vacation so far, and the Rams will take over. Estep with it.
You know, Rams down 6. It's important to capitalize on these turnovers. You don't know how many you're going to get as the game progresses.
Monahan with the pass to Gibson. Gibson looking to create something behind the arc. As that pass to Overstreet. Tries the risky pass up there to Whalen underneath. Grudzinski will drive in and puts that one up. And of course, he's going to make that every time.
Hey, coast to coast. No business for the Washington University commit. Makes mincemeat out of that Grayslake defense.
That'll be the first points of the half as Estep looks to respond to Gibson. Gibson driving in on Bolt. Past Estep behind the arc to Monahan to Overstreet. Overstreet trying to decide what to do, and he will put that one up for 3, and that one goes through. A big response there for the Rams. Darryl Overstreet with his first points of the game.
What's not going to get talked about is the ability for Grayslake Central to set picks. That's how you beat that man-to-man defense. You got to get other guys open, set a pick, maybe do a couple pick and rolls or something like that. That's kind of what Grayslake did there. That's how you beat that man-to-man defense. It's been nearly unstoppable.
No Baptiste drives in himself, puts that one up. A couple of defenders will take that rebound as there's some hand fighting there by Gibson and Bolt. And we will get a stoppage, and the Rams will inbound.
This is the usual fighting for the rebound. Someone gets hacked in the arm or in the shoulder. Easy call there by the refs.
Estep carrying it across for the Rams. And staying patient, looking for a lane. Can't quite find it. He'll pass over the alley-oop pass over there to Overstreet as Monahan takes it. And to Estep open for 3, and can't quite finish that one, but he'll take his own rebound and put it up, and he misses it again, and Grudzinski takes the rebound. Coming back the other way for Barrington. And a steal there for the Rams. S-Step will take it in as the Rams regroup on offense.
That was a very ugly change of possession for both teams there.
Yeah, you're telling me. S-Step will drive in, puts that one up, and that one lands. And Grayslake Central will make it a 3-point game. Hong will bring it in for the Broncos, I'm sorry. Hong behind the arc finds Grudzinski. Grudzinski looking for a place to go, gives it to Bolt underneath. And that will be, I believe we are getting a out of bounds called.
I
Looked like
really
he wanted a
don't know.
charge there.
I don't know what Bolt was trying to do with the ball there. I don't know if he was trying to pass it between the legs or if he was trying to continue forward and thought there should have been some contact. There's a little bit of contact, but sometimes the refs will let it play. If the game's physical all the way around, they'll sit back and just let the kids play.
Gibson with it from behind the arc, and he'll find S-Step. S-Step underneath to Whalen. Whalen puts it up for 2. And after a nice little spin around the rim, it'll go in. And a 1-point game here as Hong takes it back for Barrington. Grayslake Central working their way back into this one. Barrington would like a response. Bourdonnais to Bolt, back to Bourdonnais. Bourdonnais behind the arc. And he finds Bolt behind the arc for 3, and that one bounces off the back of the rim as Bolt will take it. I'm sorry, that was not Grudzinski. It was Tyler Groon who put that one up for 3. That is my mistake.
Yeah, Bolt tried to save that ball, tried to do it behind the back pass, but he was already out of bounds and stepped on the line before he was able to get that ball back in.
And the Rams will work their way forward here as S-Step with a pass to Whalen. Whalen back to S-Step. S-Step with a pass underneath to Overstreet, but that one's a little out of his wheelhouse. And that one will go out of bounds.
No, it was nice to see a lot of good offensive possessions by the Rams there. Just, one pass is let go there, but they've really showed up differently here in the second half so far.
They're working their way back. Only a 1-point game, 30-29 in favor of the Broncos right now. 3:55 left to play in the third quarter as we get a timeout. And this timeout sponsored by Darryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family, and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Darryl Barnes Photography at darrylbarnes.com. Patrick, we're seeing a real close-fought game. What do you want to see from the Broncos, who came out a little flat to start this half?
I think what they should do is, I sound like a broken record, right? I said it all game so far, but maybe get the ball, try to work Bolton and try to work Hong. And Hong got 4 points at the end of that second quarter. He showed he can shoot some mid-range 2s, so he can clearly, shoot the ball. So give it to him. But if they're double teaming Bolt, see what Grudzinski has. He has been, fairly quiet in the second half so far. He's only scored 2 points, halfway through the third quarter. So I don't know, only 2 points for Barrington. So maybe you want to work those 3 guys in. Hong's playing in this part of the game. Put him in there. Try to get some separation between him and the other guys. Because once a basket's shot, Grudzinski and Bolt into the paint. And if they can get the rebound and dish it back out to Hong, he'll be wide open for a shot.
You heard it here from our expert here. Expert analysis. He will give us nothing short of the best.
I got 4 years of high school basketball underneath the belt. Never played a single game of high school basketball, but it doesn't matter.
It's called Alive It, and he's got some great analysis there. Hong looking to drive in for Barrington. He'll put that one up from deep, and that one will land.
That was some good movement there by Hong. A little fake step back shot, beautiful arc. Like I said, give him the ball, he can shoot.
What Barrington needed to get going there, as Gibson will get the pass to Whalen. Whalen to Overstreet. Overstreet underneath to S-Step, and that one will go out of bounds. And the Rams will get a chance to inbound this.
I think it might have gone off the foot of Hong, I think.
Overstreet. Within that pass intercepted by Bourdonnais. Bourdonnais speeding in, and No Baptiste looking for a lane. He'll put that one up from deep 2, and that one lands as Barrington starting to work their way back into this one.
Just capitalizing off the turnovers is how you're going to win games. You have to capitalize when the team screws up, and that's exactly what Barrington
puts that one up from 3, and that one will not land, as that will be called out on Barrington. So the Rams will get another opportunity to inbound here. Overstreet looking for a partner. He'll find Whalen from behind the arc. Whalen will start a drive in, but will pass to Monahan. Monahan to Overstreet. Overstreet driving in. It looks like there was a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, definitely some contact when he was trying to drive in.
Grayslake Central will get another shot here. And Gibson behind the arc to Whalen, underneath to Estep. And he'll find Monahan up for 3. That one lands. And Grayslake Central continue to play the game of 3s, and it's working for him so far.
That's their second 3 ball of the quarter. So establish that outside game. They're going to get a little lazy inside, and that's where you start moving in.
Speaking of outside, Barrington will play outside the arc as Baptiste drives in. No Baptiste drives in. Bourdonnais with the pass as he falls over. No Baptiste will grab it from behind the arc. Hong looking for a place to go. Pass out to No Baptiste. Barrington still playing behind the arc here. That pass was deflected by Overstreet of Grayslake Central. And it looks like it'll be Barrington on inbound play.
It's definitely been a change of defense for this Grayslake squad. They're actually really holding.
Bolt drives up, and that one goes through.
There's a foul on Bolt. He was using he's trying to get leverage with his arm and pushed back his defender. You can't do that. You can't, they'll say arm checking is what goes on a lot in the pros. You see it a lot in college. Well, they're dribbling and they'll start reaching their forearm out. All that contact you can't do. And if you get caught, they'll do it anyways. But if you get caught doing it, it's an automatic turnover every time.
And Monahan looking to create something behind the arc. He's swarmed by 2 Barrington defenders. He will find Gibson underneath. Back to Monahan. They're playing some catch here. Estep deep 2. And that one goes in. Estep was left wide open there. It looked like that is Tyler Groom, who fell over for Barrington on the play, leaving Estep wide open. Groom gingerly walking over to the bench. Appears to be in a little bit of pain. Donovan Nichols, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what he did was he went all out. And you see a play with a lot of defensive players where they'll try to go all for the ball, and easy as an offensive line, you fake the shot, and that's exactly what Estep did. He faked out Groom, and that's how he was able to get the open shot.
Nichols playing from behind the arc, looking for a lane. He'll find Hong. Hong will keep, and finds Nichols underneath. I'm sorry, behind the arc. Nichols to No Baptiste, wide open for 3, and can't quite land that one, as the Rams will rebound and come the other way. It is Dennis Estep with it. And Estep with a pass to Whalen underneath. That one goes up and nowhere, as we will get a whistle.
It was a good way, for Whalen to go up with that because he knew he was going to get some contact. They've been playing physical all night down low, and if you can draw that contact and put yourself on the line, you can easily pick up a point here, 2 points here, easily find yourself maybe up 4 at certain times because of those free throws.
As Whalen drains his first, which gives the Rams the lead. Whalen, not the guy you want to have behind the line. He's a very skilled shooter as it goes around and out. Overstreet tried to rebound it, but no such luck.
Jinxed him there.
I did. It seems I did. As Hong brings it back for Barrington. As No Baptiste looking to create. That is Bourdonnais behind the arc. Donovan Nichols driving in, steps back. Drives in again, finds the pass to Hong behind the arc. Hong up for 3. And that one doesn't land. Sound like a broken record saying that about Barrington today. Their shots just haven't been landing. As we get a little bit of a scrum, and there will be a whistle. The Rams will inbound.
Yeah, you can definitely see head coach Brian Tucker for Barrington getting visibly angry at the refs on that one. There's going to be contact when there's a ball on the ground. That's a given. But sometimes when you start throwing some elbows in there, that's when the penalty. That's when they're going to blow the whistle and stop the play.
Overstreet up for 3, thinks about it, comes back. And a huge block there by Grudzinski. What a play there. Whalen tried to put it up, and Grudzinski denies him.
Not in my house.
And Overstreet with the inbound pass. Whalen behind the arc to Overstreet. Overstreet drives in, puts it up for a deep 2, and that one bounces off the backboard. Grudzinski taking it back the other way for Barrington. 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Grudzinski will put it up, and that one lands. As the quarter will end, Will Grudzinski, the star for Barrington, puts his team in the lead, 36-35 at the end of the third quarter. And we will be back after a short break. Fourth quarter action of this one sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express Online Buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. Patrick, a real tightly contested one, a bunch of lead changes, a lot of tough basketball being played. What have you seen that you've liked from the Rams coming into this fourth quarter?
Really just an offensive turnaround. You know, you look at quarter two, they scored 8 points. Whole quarter. You look at quarter three, they have 4, 6, 7, 10, 13. Extra 5 points there, and they really established themselves in the three ball. They've made 2 threes in the third quarter than they did in the second quarter. So definitely keep working on that three ball. We'll see how great they do in the fourth.
Yeah, you mentioned the 8 points for Grayslake Central in the second quarter mirrors Barrington's total in the third quarter. 8 points for Barrington as we have a tight one here. Hong will inbound, and he will cross the Golden Eagle at half court. And he will drive it himself, and with a little step back move, puts that one up for 2, and that was a pretty play by Daniel Hong.
Yeah, we've seen him do that twice today. Keep giving him the ball. Feed him the ball. Keep trying to trick out those Grayslake defenders, and you'll get a lot of open shots like that.
8 points today for Hong. And Grayslake Central looking to respond Overstreet with it. That pass a little too hot to handle for Estep. Come back the other way is board and net. Gives it to No Baptiste, who drives in. And Hong wide open for 3 and doesn't quite connect. As Overstreet will take the rebound for Grayslake Central, and Estep will walk it in.
Yeah, no criticism on that drive. It was a wide open shot. If you're wide open, take the 3.
Every time you take, you just hope it lands. Grudzinski with the big steal. He's in alone, puts that one up, and just barely gets it in. It looked like he was going for a dunk, but his hands missed the rim. But he'll take it how he can get it.
That's a situation where your eyes bulge out, and you're like, hey, I can dunk, and then you just overestimate how much you have to do for it.
It's not always pretty, but it got him 2 points. As Estep drives in, and we will get a whistle. I believe that will be a timeout by the Rams after a huge momentum shift there for Broncos. They're going to try to regroup.
Yeah, and there's no greater momentum turn than a dunk. That gets your bench riled up. That gets your offense riled up, your coach, your fans. It gets everybody riled up.
We got some fans right up here in front of us that were pretty riled up after that dunk as well. And this timeout's brought to you by Tom the Plumber. Tom the Plumber Inc. is a family-owned and operated company committed to providing plumbing service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. Our friend Tom the Plumber, as we wait for this time.
He's a really great guy. I have not had any plumbing issues the last couple of years. Haven't had to make the call out to him. But I mean, if I'm in need of help, I need to get that plumbing fixed, I got Tom on speed dial.
You know he's the one to call, as Monahan will take it in for the Rams. And that ball is loose, and that one will be out on No Baptiste. He's fighting that one a little bit. He thought that Estep had touched it first, but the ref says, I don't agree with you. And Whalen will take it in for the Rams. And he will find Estep, who will walk it in as always, across the Golden Eagle. And Monahan looking for a place to go. He'll find Whalen, and that one's knocked out. Grudzinski knocking that one out as the Rams will get another attempt to inbound.
This is another one of those plays where if you have the ability to knock it out, stop the play from, building up, you just do it. It doesn't really amount to much. You don't see it that much in the stat sheet really at all, but you stop the play, you have them thinking, okay, maybe that play's not what we want to run.
Monahan underneath to Taylor. Taylor puts that one up, and that one's blocked. It looked like Bourdonnais got a piece of it as the ball bounces out, and it looks like that will be Grayslake Central out of bounds. I'm sorry, Barrington out of bounds. Grayslake Central will inbound once again, as they've done for the third time this sequence. Monahan with the inbound pass. He'll find Gibson. Gibson looking for a place to go. He'll go behind the arc to Whalen. They will look to regroup. Whalen will find Monahan. Monahan driving in on Noah Baptiste, and we will get another whistle. Grayslake Central really driving possession, but unable to make anything happen so far in this possession.
Yeah, that's the prime example of a blocking foul right there. There's a difference, between a block and a charge. A charge is when your feet are set. If you're not set and you take that contact as a defender, that is a block, and that was clearly what was done there.
And Taylor trying to regroup for the Rams. Estep with it behind the arc. And up for Monahan, puts that one up from 3, and that one bounces off the back of the rim, and the putback is blocked by Bolt. And Barrington will take it back the other way. Daniel Hong with it. He's looking for a lane out of the driver pass. He'll start to drive in, thinks better of it, back behind the arc. And he will find Grudzinski underneath. Grudzinski tries to drive in. He'll take it the other side to Bourdonnais, back to Hong. Hong signaling to his teammates. And he will find Bolt up for 3. Bolt gives that one back to Bourdonnais behind the arc. Bourdonnais drives in, gives it to Hong back for 3. And Hong will try and drive in, puts it up for a deep 2, and that one's just outside as Estep takes it back the other way.
It's a little bit of a heat check by Hong. He's made those shots where he stop, turn around, fade, or step back multiple times throughout the day. You want to give himself a little heat check on that.
Monahan driving in, puts that one up, and just doesn't connect. Bolt will get a hand on it. I'm sorry, Bolt will not get a hand on it. And that one will go out of bounds for Barrington to inbound.
Yeah, that was a smart play by Bolt there. You can get the rebound on that, but he knew it was going to go out of bounds. He might have been in an awkward place where he's leaning forward towards the line. And the last thing you want to do is catch a blocked rebound by the other team and try to step on it and get it, but you step on the line and turn it right back.
And if you can't handle it, it goes out on you. Grudzinski up for a deep 2, and that one doesn't quite make it. As Estep will take it back the other direction for the Rams. A 40-35 game here. 5-point game. Grayslake Central looking to come back. And Estep drives in all alone, puts that one up. And a nice play there by Estep, found a gap in the defense, and it's a 3-point game.
He parted the Great Red Sea of Barrington right there. Easy. I don't know what kind of defensive pairing was going on there. Whatever it was, didn't work.
Hong for a deep 2. That one can't find that one. Bolt puts it up and does not get it. Bolt puts it up again, and that one will strike. And a big 2-point play there for Nate Bolt. It took him 2 rebounds, but he finally got it.
That's where that 6'10" height works. You clearly have the length of arms that to get close to that rim. Just reach over everyone else, catch the ball, and put it back in. You'll get 2 chances if you're that big.
Offensive rebounds are essential in these games. And Taylor working behind the arc. And that pass is a little errant. Looked like Noah Baptiste got a hand on it. And looks like there will be a timeout called on the court. This timeout brought to you by Darryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Darryl Barnes Photography at darrylbarnes.com. Talk about our sponsor, Darryl Barnes. Patrick, there's been a lot of picture-perfect moments in this game, if I do say so myself. What have you seen in this fourth quarter that you've liked?
What I've seen, okay, I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that comment. Like a majority of the times I hear you talk. I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear it. When you think of, big plays in this quarter so far, and I think right now the biggest one is Bolden putting that ball back in. You got 2 chances. It's very rare you're going to get 2 chances on a defensive rebound. It happens, especially when you're that big. You can reach over everyone else, you can get the ball ahead of them and put it back in. Now to get a second chance to do it and capitalize on that makes it a 5-point lead. And really for Grayslake, you're looking at this 5 points. It's not panic time yet. You want to make sure you're not doing too much or too little. You don't want to sit back and say, okay, we can make our way back in this. It's only 5 points. But at the same time, you also don't want to rush. You don't want to take unnecessary three-point shots. You don't want to take 3 guys on driving in. You're going to want to you want to play faster, but you're not going to want to play too fast.
You heard it here from our expert what Grayslake Central needs to do to get back in this game. Down by 5 with 3:44 left on the clock. And Barrington will inbound, start with possession. No Baptiste with the pass to Hong. Hong will take it across center. And looking for a lane, he'll stay behind the arc. A deep shot up, it looked like a pass at first, but it went up and hit the backboard. And Estep will take it back the other way for the Rams.
I want to say that was some kind of pass.
And to pass up to Whalen, and Monahan in alone, as Bolts will get there with the stop, but it appears they will call it out of bounds, or maybe a foul on Bolts.
Yeah, that was a shooting foul there. That's smart play there by Monahan. You want to work in. If you're going to have to go against Bolt, you're going to want to go in, maybe lean the shoulder a little bit, maybe try to force that foul in, because what Bolt need to do is stand straight tall. You can't, if you lean forward as a guy that big, going against someone who's smaller than you, you're going to get the foul every single time.
That as Monahan hits his first free throw, he will get a second attempt here. Make this a 3-point game, as that one's up and in. Drained that one, and Barrington will take it back the other way. Hong with it. Hong take it across center. Looking for a lane to drive in, but thinks better of it. And that pass to Groom behind the arc. No Baptiste in underneath. Looking for a place to drive in. The Rams stifle him as Hong has it in the corner. Up to Bourdonnais. Bourdonnais underneath to Grudzinski. Grudzinski to Bolt, back to Grudzinski. Grudzinski working behind the arc. He will drive in, puts that one up, and in.
That's a really good example of patience. Look at that play. Look at that possession. Excuse me. They took their time. They passed it around, and eventually Grudzinski said, hey, I'm going to take care of this. And that's exactly what he did.
It's the luxury of playing with the lead there. Whalen puts it up for a deep 2 and can't quite find it. As Grayslake Central will regroup, that was Monahan on the rebound. Whalen with it behind the arc to Estep. Estep to Gibson. Gibson with a little shove there, and he will get a foul called against him. As a pretty clear shove there, it wasn't really even a question about it.
There was a little bit of action here. Okay, you see this a lot. The guy with the ball will lean back. You're kind of like back checking a little bit. I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but there's going to be contact. I say it's not like a broken record. I say this every time. There's contact in basketball. It's just the way it's played. But in a situation like that, you don't want to. If you start lowering your shoulder a little bit, that's kind of what happened there. Maybe there was a little bit of an acting job there by Barrington, which wouldn't surprise me given how easy it is to get fouls in plays like that. But there definitely is a clear foul there.
Yep, and Bourdonnais will take it on the inbound for Barrington. Grudzinski puts it up for 2, and that one's through. And Grudzinski extends the Broncos' lead as the Estep from the Rams will take it back the other way. And Monahan back to Estep. Estep to Gibson. Gibson working behind the arc as he will find Whalen. Whalen with a pass to Gerbasi. Gerbasi driving in, finds Monahan open for 3, and that one's just overshot, and Grudzinski will get the rebound for the Broncos.
What you're going to see now, probably by Grayslake soon, is going to be the beginning of the foul-a-thon. This is when you start fouling the guy, try to get, to miss some free throws so you get the ball back with a lot of time. There's only 1:20 left. Time's running out now. You're down 7.
And just as you say, we get a call there. A foul called against Gerbasi, I believe, as Barrington will get a chance to inbound this.
That was actually by Estep had the foul.
I'm sorry, that was Estep. 1:20 left, Barrington leads by 7. Hong takes it. And looking for a place to go, he will pass center, and he loses possession. And it looks like we will get another whistle.
You're starting to get close to that bonus now. When you get in the bonus, you get to the 1-and-1. That's when it's basically foul, you head to the line for 1 shot. If you make it, you get the second. If you get to double bonus, you're guaranteed 2 free throws. So they have a little more time to play with here, Grayslake. So keep an eye out on that.
Coordinate with it for Barrington to Hong, and we will get another whistle. And another inbound play for Barrington. Just doesn't stop.
Yeah, Grayslake has some time. They're only at 4 total fouls for the half.
And Hong playing back deep as we will get another whistle.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get Barrington to make an errant pass, make a turn the ball over in some way without fouling, so they can get a quick score. And they'll probably have to foul again immediately after that. But they're really trying to get save as much time on the clock as possible.
Barrington playing very fundamentally sound, not giving anything to the Rams, as we will get another whistle. Barrington need to try to work into their own zone. Work out of their own zone, I'm sorry. As it looks like we will get a timeout called.
It's a lot of fouls right now. Both teams are in a bonus at 6. So in the bonus, you get the 1 and 1. And then now next time Grayslake will penalize or try to draw a penalty for Barrington, they're going to have to go to the line for a 1 and 1.
And this timeout sponsored by our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's. Proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today.
I might have to take a stop there after this game.
Might need to make a pit stop. I think we're both getting a little hungry out here.
I am. A lot of things people don't know about basketball games. It takes a lot of energy out of your call. It's a lot of talking, throat hurting a little bit, rely on water, and I'm hungry. I might have to go hit a McDonald's at home.
You and I both. Maybe we'll stop by one of those Bear Family McDonald's. Barrington up 7, 46-39, a minute 7 left. Grayslake Central finds themselves in an interesting spot with Barrington about to inbound. And they need to find a way to get the ball back and put some points on the board pretty quickly. Barrington might be...
It's almost in that panic sense. Right around a minute, when you're down 7, you're like, okay, we're going to have to foul, and we're going to have to make sure, Barrington gets the ball to a guy who can essentially shoot free throws. Because the last thing you want to do is put a guy like Grzycki on there who was perfect from behind the line in the first game. You can maybe put, Bolt on there. He might be able to, draw those, not be as great as a free throw shooter. You want to be careful. You don't want to put someone like Grzycki on there who can make those free throws.
As you mentioned, Grzycki, he will take it in. Bolt trying to find a place to go. He'll find Grzycki. Grzycki with the pass out to Hong, open, but Monahan will get there. And Monahan, the foul on Monahan, will send Daniel Hong to the line, who has not attempted a free throw tonight.
That's some smart play by Barrington. You want to keep running the clock out as much as possible to leave as little time left for Grayslake to have a chance to come back. Now, on the other hand, Grayslake, that was not a very good defensive possession. You have to foul immediately. You can't let them take off 17 seconds off the clock, because that's 17 seconds you could have used to come back in this game. Now you have 50 seconds, you're down 7. If Hong makes both, he makes the first, he gets the second. Now we'll have the second one, he gets second, you're going to be down 9. And that's a much harder hole to come back from than 7.
They didn't want to send Grzycki to the line, so they opted to wait. And Hong, with both of his free throws, makes this a 9-point game with 50 seconds left as we get another timeout called.
It's going to be very important for Grayslake to figure out something on this possession. It comes a question of, do we work on the 3 ball or do we try to get the fast 2? What you can do is you can drive in, try to, go up for a layup and try to draw as much contact as possible.
And this timeout sponsored by Rose and Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rose and Express Online Buying made simple. Go to roseandhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com.
It's very important for Grayslake right now to figure out what that game plan is. The last thing you want to do is turn the ball over. You turn the ball over, then you have to go back to the line. At this point, that hole that's dug, they're starting to get ready to cover you up because there's not much left you can do. So you're going to want to make a fast possession here, get a fast 2, maybe draw a foul, or get a fast 3.
As Monahan drives in, Looks for a shot. That one's off the backboard and rim, and Barrington will take it back. Daniel Hong making his way back for Barrington. And a pass to No Baptiste. And we will get a whistle. Looks to be another timeout.
That was a smart call by Tucker to call a timeout there. They're running out of time to get over the half-court line. If you wait too long, I believe the time is 10 seconds I think you have to get over. If you don't have those 10 seconds and you get over too late, it's a turnover. You give the ball right back to Grayslake. Now you're up 9. So what what Barrington really has to do is just really work on ball control. You're in a position where you can sit back, you know they're going to foul you, get it to your best free throw shooter. Hong hit 2 in the quarter already. Give the ball to him. Let him take the foul, finish it off on the line. If you make both free throws in the one-on-one situation, right now, this game's as good as done. Because right now, there's very little, Grayslake can do to come back. They would need Barrington to turn the ball over a lot. They need to miss their free throws, score a quick 2, score a quick 3. In a time of 32 seconds, I don't know if that's possible.
And Daniel Hong will take it in for Barrington. And it looks like he will draw that foul. And he'll get sent to the line, the sure shooter that is Daniel Hong.
It's simple as this. Make the 2 free throws here, or make the 1, and then you first make the 1 and give the shot the second. Make both, game's done.
Hong with 2 free throws already in this quarter. He will get another attempt. And that one's up and through. That makes it a 10-point game for Barrington. And Hong's second one is up, and that one also goes through. Makes it a 50-39 game, 28 seconds left to play. Grayslake Central looking to get something quick. And Monahan to Whalen. Whalen put up for 3, and that one misses. As Barrington will be content holding on.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see any foul here. I think just going to let the clock run out.
Bourdonnais for a deep 2. Hong taking it behind, and that will do this one as there are handshakes before the clock even runs out. Estep with a little bit of trickery there, trying to steal the ball. And that is ball game as the Barrington Broncos take down the Grayslake Central Rams 50-39.
It was a good game for the most part up until that last quarter is when a big separation from Barrington, really taking control of Grayslake Central. So it's be very important to see what these 2 schools do as the tournament progresses. So definitely keep an eye out for Barrington. They go to 2-0 in the tournament so far. It'll be interesting to see what they do tomorrow as the tournament progresses. But literally, Logan, I think if I had to pick a guy on both teams who I think was, the player of the game, I gotta pick Daniel Hong. He came up clutch when it mattered in the 4th quarter. He made those free throws, and really, to close out a game like that, that's what you need to do.
You heard it here from our expert with his analysis, and Barrington really came alive in the 4th quarter after coming out kind of flat in the 3rd quarter. We talked about it as it was starting up here, and they really just took this one away. It was a great played game on both sides, but Barrington ultimately got the better of them.
It becomes not a question of how you start it, it's how you finish it. Barrington came out in the 4th quarter, and they put the last nail on the coffin, especially in the last few minutes. They finished off strong, had a rough 3rd quarter, as you said, Logan, but hey, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish.
Doesn't have to be pretty, but a win's a win, and a 11-point win for Barrington here over Grayslake Central. I'd like to give a special thanks to our game sponsors, Bear Family McDonald's, Rosen Hyundai, Tom the Plumber, and Darryl Barnes Photography, and a special thanks to all the men in the truck who make this possible.
Don't forget about the hardworking men and women, and women too.
Men and women in the truck who make this broadcast possible. And we will be back with some more Hinkle Holiday Classic action after this. But until then, this is Logan Franz and my partner Patrick Harrian signing off.
This sports broadcast made possible by contributions from the following. The Bear Family McDonald's, proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com or genesisofelgonquin.com. Tom the Plumber. Service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber. Honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. And Daryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Daryl Barnes Photography at darylbarnes.com.